the wisdom of yamas. The first limb of yoga is yamas. That's how you create boundaries, disciplines. Then gives rise to the second limb of yoga is niyamas, like devotions. Now you have somewhere beautiful you can run your energy through, the devotions of your life. But then it's always the centering point is the heart. Down here below our diaphragms where all our sexuality is, and all our pursuits of trying to find security in our life, and all of our pursuits of trying to experience power in our power. And when those energies, of course, are misguided, then we're to try to make power over other people, and it causes us misery. And that's subtle tendencies in even our relationships. That's what we mean when manipulation, when we're manipulating life, as opposed to kind of tapping into the real source of power, which is, this is the space of yoga, of Tantra, of the space between the two polarities. And so down here, you have all this tremendous energy in the lower part of the body, sexuality, security, power. And then up here, you also have a tremendous energy, but a far more subtle energy of intuition, of connection to a web of life, the crown chakra, that we're all interwoven with the entire creation. And the force, the power of your sound, your word, your communication, throat. So all of these energies, when they can be continually centered at the heart, you can do it just physically with yoga practice. Now what happens is the entire path is centered at the heart. That's why it's in these types of practice, it's not that, oh, you should be compassionate. It's that compassion is the center of the whole thing. And that the whole thing is really dependent upon compassion, but not just only the compassion that I already have, but it's continuous cultivation of greater and greater compassion. These are the four immeasurables of the Tibetan Tantric tradition, the four boundless attitudes of boundless love, boundless happiness, boundless joy, and boundless equanimity. And so boundless love is the wish to be happy. But it's not just the wish for me to be happy, it's my wish for you to be happy regardless of our status, whether we like each other or not. You're my friend, you're my enemy, I still have the wish for your happiness. But this is a muscle that we have to develop. The muscle, the heart muscle of compassion is something that our tendencies often are running in conflict with, because of course we have to take care of ourselves, and root chakra, we have to survive, we have to have a sense of security. And so at a certain point in our evolution, this was necessary just for survival. But now for our survival, we need the happiness of each other as well as our own happiness. But how can I really wish the happiness for anyone else unless I've actually got some myself? So then this is how compassion forms, the cultivation of compassion forms the net that holds everything else in yogic practice, tantric practice. Because without it, it can't grow, it can't blossom, because it's too self-oriented. And so therefore, to actually let what the yogis describe as kind of turning the heart inside out creates a great state of bliss. But it's a bliss that is not only inclusive of the everything of our life and the others of our life, but it's also born of that. It's born of the experience of the web of connectivity that we're all a part of, and that what I do to you is what I do to myself. And so then if we live that, and it's not just like that's the case when we're doing yoga practice and we're kind of tuning into spiritual or mystical things, but that becomes the way more and more that we live our life, not because of a moralistic reason, as much as a reason that we've experienced it to be the foundation of our ability to be happy. and our ability to truly experience real happiness that doesn't wax and wane when just because things don't go the way we wish. Or because always, if life is looking like easy street, there's danger at your door. If things are going smooth, guess what? There's turbulence up ahead. If things are going turbulent, guess what? Smooth waters are ahead. Maybe not as soon as we like sometimes, but they're coming. Sometimes some season of turbulence may be 2 years. But there's also still medicine inside of that. And so if we live in bouncing back and forth so strongly between polarities, then those 2 years will not be easily navigated, probably as wisely navigated or appreciated. And so if we go through 2 years of our life without appreciating our life, how do we know we have how many even breaths yet left? And so there's no time to not have in all times we can feel gratitude. But that also is a practice, because once again our minds and emotional tendencies are in conflict with that. So part of these practices, and maybe the harder part of it, is to become aware of how our mind's tendencies are in conflict with our happiness. That's what yoga and Tantra is all about. How are you going to weave a way of living for yourself based on your experience that sustains happiness even amidst the ups and downs of life? That has to be a substantive endeavor. That's why we can't just do like a little quick thing. What is Tantra? How can you even know without experience? And so it takes a little bit of practice to then start to, even just one of these sessions, you can get a real taste of it. And that's what we're doing. We're going to do this fantastic meditation to arouse the heart of compassion. And so that we not only are saying, well, let me be more compassionate, but we're actively engaged in the cultivation of our compassion on a regular basis. And that starts to make our whole field of kindness stronger. But it's not just compassion. Compassion is only one wing. The second wing of the same bird is wisdom. And so if there's, love without wisdom, then we can sometimes lack good boundaries in our life, and we don't create the necessary type of boundaries in us enough for us to keep our own energy strong and healthy and our own cup full. Relatively full, we should say. Not full in the sense of how much money we have in the bank, not full in the sense of all the material aspects of our life, but full in the sense of we got us, we know we're good. And then that the wisdom of yamas, the first limb of yoga is yamas. That's how you create boundaries, disciplines. Then gives rise to the second limb of yoga is niyamas, like devotions. Now you have somewhere beautiful you can run your energy through, the devotions of your life. So we have disciplines in our life that this is not doctrine that we're following. This is following. In the case I'm talking, we've determined for ourselves what disciplines help us in our life. And then we put them into practice, because we only have so many breaths here, and we want to experience what this is all about. So I ain't got time for that. But niyamas, I have time for this. I'm gonna be creative. I'm gonna have meditation in my life, whatever it may be. Those are niyamas. This is what I am doing. This polarity, and so those two things together, wisdom and compassion, form the foundation of it all. Otherwise it's so easy to get swept away in all the fascinations of these types of things. Even the techniques, the meditations, the practices, all that, less important than the blossoming of my heart. This is most important, I think. Hey, thanks for watching on YouTube. Best easy way to stay in touch with us. Hit the subscribe button here. You'll see our videos when they come up. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button. It'll help more people see it, help the channel grow. I appreciate you watching.